Imagine your life for a second as a video game. Now, the objective of most video games is to get to the next level, right? And with every level you complete, you gain knowledge and learn new skills, and you can use all of this to help you get to the next level. Well, in many ways, life works the same way video games do. The objective is to grow and get to the next level in your life. But see, if you consciously or subconsciously stay in level one or the level you've already completed, then you're not only going to get bored, but frustrated at the fact that you're stuck playing a game. Living a life you've outgrown. So, in an effort to help you level up, let's discuss the 6 huge signs you've outgrown your life. And first up, you're bored with your routine. See, having a routine isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? There's some benefit to having a morning routine and starting your morning off on a good foot, on a positive note every day, right? There's some benefit to having an evening routine or a night routine to help you unwind and relax every evening, regardless of how your day went. There's some benefit to that. But see, when your schedule, when your day-to-day is so repetitive that it begins to bore you, that you start to feel stuck and stagnant in your life, then that's a huge sign that you've outgrown this season in your life. Now see, a major thing that's holding so many of us back from changing our routine or making any change in our life for that matter is fear. We're afraid of change, or we're afraid of the unknown that comes with change. But see, I'm here to tell you that change is a good thing. Change is the process of life. And if you want to level up or get to the next level in your life, then you can't be afraid to switch it up. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not the best when it comes to change. I have my fears of change. I'm human. I can admit that to you. But I also know that change, the change that I have gone through, has made a significant difference in my life so far. And that track record is what I look back on and say, hey, this change that I'm facing right now is not that bad. And if I want to continue to level up in my life, if I want to continue to get to the next level in my life, then maybe I need to switch my routine up. Maybe I need to try something different. And that's okay. You're outgrowing old relationships, even with yourself. You see, what many of us fail to realize is that the people we meet, the relationships that we build, many of those relationships aren't going to last forever. However, the majority of them will last for a season or for a reason. And a big mistake we make is we try to carry those old relationships with us in every season of our lives. And that's a mistake, right? Now, maybe you're noticing in your life that you're starting to outgrow some of your relationships, some of your friendships. That's okay. That's a part of life, right? Change is the process of life. But as you continue to grow and level up and get to that next level in your life, you're going to meet more people. You're going to build more relationships, develop more friendships. Some of those will last longer than others, but a few of them will only be in your life for a reason and for a season. And that's okay. Now, when it comes to relationships with yourself, many of us hold on to the old version of ourselves, our fantasy self, the old me, right? When I first started my journey through minimalism and intentional living, I had 3 core reasons that kept me going. Reason number 1 is I wanted to reinvent myself. Reason number 1 is I wanted a new challenge in life. And reason number 3 is I had too much stuff. Now, when I talk about reinventing myself, that's figuring out whether or not I'm holding on to an old relationship with myself and how to let go of that relationship and how to reinvent and develop and build a new relationship with this new version of me and this new chapter of my life. So the same way that friendships and relationships that we build are meant for a reason and for a season, the old version of us is only meant to survive for a season. And when you outgrow that season, when you outgrow your life, and when you level up into a new chapter of your life, that old version of you can't go with you. However, that new version of you, that's the relationship you need to build. You haven't learned anything new. You see, I'm a huge proponent of being a student of life. Now, if there's nothing new to learn in this current level you're in this current season of your life, this current chapter of your life, then it's time to outgrow that. It's time to move past that level. It's time to level up, right? You always want to be challenged. You always want to have something new to learn. And if you haven't learned anything new in quite some time, then you've outgrown your life. You've outgrown this season of your life, and that's okay. It's time to move on to bigger, better, more challenging things. Learn something new. Challenge yourself, because those are the things that are going to help you grow to the next level, to the next level, to the next level in your life, year in and year out. You don't feel in tune with your values or yourself. Sometimes when we reach a point in our lives or in our journeys where we've outgrown the current season we're in, we start to feel like the things that were important to us are no longer important to us. We're no longer living in alignment with our core values. We no longer feel like ourselves. We feel like someone else, right? And that's because we're still trying to hold on to that old version of ourselves. We're still trying to connect to that old relationship with the old version of ourselves, right? But this new version of us is now interested in other things, is now finding value in other things. And what we have to learn to do is change our core values as we start to level up and grow in our lives. What was important to me when I was a teenager in my early 20s is not necessarily what's important to me now as a dad and a husband. And that's okay. That's the way it should be, right? So I challenge you to look at your life. Are you living in alignment with your values? Do you feel like yourself? If you don't, I want you to reconnect with your core values. I want you to realign with your core values. I want you to figure out if what you consider to be your core values are really the things that are important to you in this season. Now, if you need help, you can download my core values worksheet on my website at ronaldlbanks.com/values. I'll walk you through the exact process I went through to discover my core values, write my mantra, figure out what's important to me, and make sure that I'm living in alignment with those values every single day. You can download that worksheet for free. But again, if you feel like you're not living in alignment with your values, if you don't feel like yourself, then that's a huge sign that you've outgrown your life. It's time to move on. And it's time to level up. You're becoming a person you don't like. Often what happens when we don't allow ourselves to grow in life and to level up and get to the next level in our lives is we start to cling to the things that are around us in the current season we're in. It's like, well, if I'm not growing, if I'm stuck, if I feel stagnant, what can I cling to? What can I grab to? And often those things that we're clinging to are things that aren't necessarily serving us, but rather changing who we are to fit within the mold of our current environment. There's frustration that builds. There's stress that builds. Like I said, we feel stuck. We feel stagnant. We don't feel like ourselves. We start to change. Our attitude is different. We're more negative because we're not growing. If you're noticing some of these signs in your life, if you feel like you're just not yourself, if you don't like the person you're becoming because you're not growing, then that's a huge sign that you've outgrown this season of your life, which is a good thing. You have to level up. You have to challenge yourself. You have to break free from your fear of change and your fear of the unknown, right? I want you to remember that fear equals false evidence that appears real, right? Fear is false evidence that appears real. And when you start to understand that some of my fears, while it's okay to be afraid because that's what makes me human, but some of my fears are just in my head. And if I continue to allow what's in my head to hold me back in life, then I'm never going to grow. I'm never going to level up. I'm always going to feel stuck and stagnant. And I'm going to always allow my environment to change who I am and mold me into a person I don't like. I don't want that for you. I want you to level up, and I want you to get to the next level in your life. You've stopped working on yourself. Let me ask you a question. Have you given up? Seriously, have you given up? Do you feel stuck? Are you frustrated, confused? If you feel that way, it's okay, right? That's a part of being human. It's okay if you feel that way. But the reason you feel that way is because you've outgrown your life. You've outgrown this season you're in. And the only way to move out of that season, the only way to move up, to level up, is to begin working on yourself again. Now, this can be as simple as journaling every day or every other day. That way you're working on your mental health, your emotional health. It could be as simple as working out, going for a walk, doing yoga, lifting weights, working on your physical body, working on yourself, right? It could be as simple as changing the way you eat. What are you feeding your body every day? Start working on yourself. See, when you do these little things, now it doesn't mean you have to change everything overnight or in one day, but when you do these little things, when you start to journal periodically and eventually every day, when you start to change your eating habits, when you start to work on yourself, your mindsets, your emotions, your physical body, When you start to declutter your space, when you start to remove those old relationships and the clutter and the chaos that is making you feel like you have to stay at level 1, when you start to remove those things, now it becomes so much clearer how you can level up, how you can grow past this season of your life. But I want to encourage you to not give up. Don't quit. It's okay if you're frustrated, but don't give up. Just start working on yourself again. Hope you found this conversation helpful, friend. And let me know in the comments which of these 6 signs resonate with you the most, that you feel is the reason why you are outgrowing your life or feel like you've outgrown your life. Let me know in the comments. Keep growing, keep learning, always stay true to you, because guess what? I'm always staying true to me. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.